Speaking of China, we spoke last week about the amount that's manufactured there. It's not just materials. What's seafood? What are we doing there?
Yeah, so this is really interesting. The New Yorker, which is a big magazine, did a really full-on investigative report about just how big the Chinese distant water fishing fleet is. And in fact, they control something over 60% of all of the world's aquaculture. Now, Australians might not be aware of this fact, and I certainly wasn't until I read the report, that Australians consume, the seafood that Australians consume, 70% of it comes from overseas. It's imported.
What?
Imported. Now,
really?
It's insane
like
because
a lot
it's
of
cheaper.
Other things, yeah.
It's cheaper, obviously, to buy cheap Chinese seafood.
Yeah.
And the laws pertaining to what suppliers of seafood in Australia are required to tell the consumer are very lax.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be eating Chinese seafood that's caught under horrible conditions with slave labour, which is what came out of this report. Slave labour in their distant fishing fleet, violence, abusive behaviours, workplace practices and all that sort of stuff. And that's the road we're going down because of industrial relations laws that are being pushed through by this government and the fact that we've just got too much bureaucracy, too much red tape, too much green tape, and that's affecting Australian consumers.
The reliance we have on China is terrifying, but still friendly handshakes. When will we learn?
And hugs, remember that.
And hugs, of course, always. Lincoln, brilliant. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.